everyone. Happy Friday. We're here with Fridays with Sandy. That would be Sandy Kreisberg. I'm John Byrne with Poets and Quants. Sandy, of course, is the founder of hbsguru.com. Great reader of the tea leaves over at Harvard Business School, which this week had a release of their round one decisions. Always a big event. And today we have with us a candidate. His name is Andrew. He is working as a senior consultant for EY. That would be Ernst & Young in the old days. Before that, he was at KPMG as an auditor. He graduated from Santa Clara University with 3.5 in accounting. He has a nice 730 GMAT, and he's looking to apply to Chicago Booth, Kellogg, one of our favorite schools, UCLA, USC Marshall, and the Foster School at the University of Washington in Seattle. Sandy, what do you think?
Okay, let's shalom everybody and happy Hanukkah. Let's start out with the fact that Andrew's got like a 3.5 and a 730, and that is in line with all of his schools, Booth, Kellogg, UCLA, USC, Foster, in terms of GMAT and GPA. So the question then becomes, given that the admission percentages at those schools are all pretty close to 20, 21, 22, 23%, then the question is, if you're an inline applicant and the admissions rate is 20%, what do you got to do to get in? The fact that he's working at, how would you characterize Ernst & Young or EY as a prestige, in terms of prestige for these schools, John?
I think it's pretty good. EY has a great annual conference for entrepreneurs and early stage, mid-stage companies in California. They invited me there a number of times, and I've interviewed everyone from the CEO of Starbucks to the CEO.
Yeah, blah. Okay, let's get back to Andrew here.
Let's
okay,
not go
here's the situation. He's got inline stats, okay? Then the question becomes, what more do you need, given that the schools he's applying to admit about 22% of the people.
So his extras aren't going to work for him. I mean, he's done some mentoring of high school students, and he's starting a program at EY to do that as well. Depending on your progress there, I'm not sure your extras put you over the hurdle.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, what are your goals? Let's start with that.
I guess high level, I want to move into maybe a strategy management consulting type role. Really, the motivation for that is I just want to help clients or companies get better, accomplish their goals.
Yeah, that's all
transactions.
So that's also very traditional. No problem. Being traditional is not bad in this. People often think, oh, traditional, that's bad. No, go with the flow, right? The flow is your friend. But the question then becomes, how do you stand out? So your goals are okay, your stats are in line.
Let's raise another question about the stats, Sandy, because while the 730 is above the class averages for all these schools, when you look at the splits, Andrew is incredibly good in the verbal and less so on the quant, where he's a 67%er.
Yeah,
that's very interesting. Yeah. As an accountant, would they expect more?
I don't think they care, to tell you the truth. My philosophy has always been schools, in the words of the beloved D. Leopold, they don't care about your GMAT as long as it starts with a 7. Okay.
And D. Leopold, for all of those out there who don't know, is the former managing director of admissions at the Harvard Business School.
Yes, and a favorite and a secret girlfriend of John and Sandy's.
Secret no more.
Right. So I don't think don't take the 730 again to get a higher quant score. Okay. I think that's fine. Uh, but then the question becomes, okay, so let's start going through these. John, what do you think his chances are at Booth?
I'd say they're low, mainly because they're going to have a lot of other people like you who went to better schools in Santa Clara and whose splits are better, and they might have had more experience because, you know, Andrew's only 24. He has 2.5 years of work experience.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Also, this, Ernst & Young, silver or gold in terms
Silver.
of a workplace?
Silver, you know, McKinsey, Bain, BCG would be gold, and then the big four would be silver.
He's got a
And
silver job. He's got regular stats. I'm trying to put this into a package everybody
Yeah.
can understand. Silver stats, silver work experience, ditto KMPG, where he worked for a year and 3 months, I think. So you're just a solid silver guy, and Booth is looking more for gold out of people like you. What about Kellogg?
I think it's similar. You got
Ditto
two
burgers,
schools.
yes.
Those are going to be your reach schools.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, good way to put it. Okay. Then we get to UCLA, USC, and Foster.
Now we're starting to be in the pocket.
Right. And what has he got to do there?
Oh boy, I think he's got to provide a compelling story for why he wants the MBA, what it will do for him, and he has to talk about
What are you doing for Rex, Andrew? Recommenders.
I have someone from a KPMG, and then my mentorship experience in college. I have
Yeah,
him
stop
as
right there, John. Mentorship experience in college as a recommender. What could he say, Andrew?
It'd be more like the leadership experience, just kind of how I interact with other people. You know, how I lead small
Is
groups,
there,
I guess.
yeah, blah, blah, blah. Is there something dramatic you could say?
I don't know about dramatic, but maybe more just speak to the soft skill side of things.
Yeah. What's that going to get him, John?
Well, it's hard to interpret that because that is an unusual recommender for sure.
Yeah, I would, is there someone else? I would not go with that recommender. It's not getting, it's fine. It's not getting you anything. Here's your situation at UCLA, USC, and Foster. You're in the pocket in terms of stats. You've got silver work experience. You need to get the recs as close to gold as possible. That means really working with your recommender, your current supervisor, and having the guy say, you know, I've been doing this for 15 years. Andrew is one of the 2 or 3 most impressive people I've ever met, and these are the reasons, okay? You've got to try and get him to do as close to that as possible. And for your second recommender, is there someone else that you could think of besides the mentor from college?
I could get someone from my current place, EY, and just kind of cover both my professional experiences.
What do you think, John? 2 people from EY or 1 person from EY and 1 person from college leadership?
Or was it a one person from KPMG?
Or I guess, yeah, it'd be 1 person from KPMG. So currently it'd be 1 person from KPMG, 1 person from my college experience.
that works.
Oh, no, man. You need your current supervisor, or you have to explain why not. I'm glad we stumbled over this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listening to this podcast, your recommender has to be your current supervisor, or you need to explain why it's not. Reasons are my job search is confidential, or this guy, I just started working here and I've only worked for this guy for, you know, a month. But other than things like that, you really need your current supervisor. You agree with that, John?
Yeah, I do, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll assume something is not quite right.
Yeah, and that's kind of a consideration that I figured. I don't, you know, not too many people at EY pursue MBAs, so it's kind of
The act of getting the recommendation is the soft skills GMAT. You can quote me on that, and it's worth quoting. Okay. What you have to do is you've got to manage this guy. You've got to manage up. And your ability to do that is something the schools respect quite deeply and correctly. And in this case, correctly. So you don't mean to shout, but you've got to manage the recommendations.
Now, Sandy, is it ever wise to give more than the 2 recommendations that most schools request?
Only if the third guy is a highly unusual person. Like if you had 2 strong recommendations from your professional life, and then the leadership guy you were planning to use could really add something, I might have that guy just write a personal letter or something. But that letter's got to be extraordinary.
Yeah, he's got to say, you are the most outstanding mentor he's ever witnessed in his life.
And his work, and this guy, you're going to hear from this guy. You're going to be reading about this guy, right?
Yeah.
So I guess just for clarification, I guess I'm kind of getting different responses from Sandy and John. The college mentorship thing, is that I guess a hard no? Because I feel like that might be some better, I guess, recommendation.
Look, you know what's available. If you in your heart of hearts say, I really can't get 2 strong recommendations from my professional life, then go with that guy. But the first move is to try and get 2 professional people. Once again, this is your ability to appraise your own file. If you can't get 2 strong professional people, then go with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have to develop those people.
Yeah.
John,
story.
How do you develop a recommender, John?
Oh man, you got to do a lot of schmoozing. You got to write them a memo. When you ask them to do a rec for you, you got to write them a nice memo, recalling things that were important that you want them to recall in their letter.
Yeah, here's a question that for someone who contacted me outside of this context, and I said I would address it. John, is it legit for the recommender to tell you, you go to the recommender and you say, I'm applying to business school, could you write me a rec? And the recommender says, well, you write it and I'll sign it or edit it.
It's not legit, but it happens all the time.
Something that happens all the time is legit.
I think there's been some research on this, and it may happen something like 1 out of 4 or 5 times.
Oh no, it happens more.
You think it happens?
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
It's certainly legit if you went to your recommender and said, "Here's a memo of what I've done for you to remind you of what my accomplishments are," and it just happens to be a memo that follows the format of the recommendation, sir. So you might want to use this while writing my recommendation.
I'm thinking of the memo as a little crib sheet or cheat sheet to make it easier for the recommender to write a decent letter.
It's not a cheat sheet. It's recounting what you have actually done.
It's true.
It's only a cheat sheet if you make stuff up. I really want to get this clear. A lot of people are scratching their heads about it. Just I had someone write me about this situation, and the person was very worried. And I said, it happens all the time. And then the person got into Harvard Business School, and I said, see?
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think like brainstorming is fine, but I don't know about crossing the realm of like writing that recommendation at all.
Yeah, don't get caught up in semantic differences. Just write it and get in it's not a writing contest. Just get in the powerful things you've done and try, and And then you have to inform your recommender that, you know, this is not courtroom testimony when you're writing a recommendation. This is hyperbolic by its very nature.
Mhm.
Have your recommender watch the thank yous at the Academy Awards. You go, that's the rhetoric. Okay.
So we think Booth and Kellogg are reaches, UCLA, USC, and Foster at the University of Washington are in pocket, but you're going to have to work the recommendations and do some really
And execute a powerful application. You didn't do such a good job yet of formulating your goals. You really got to get that together. You know, so that's my advice to you, Andrew. So
all right then.
yes,
have it.
Thank you.
So hey, good luck to you.
yeah. Sorry for the tough love, but
No, I appreciate you. You know, you're ripping my application apart.
well, you got your money's worth. Good. Okay. Good luck at those.
So good luck to you. You know, we also said, which is an important point, I think, for a lot of people today. This is a highly competitive admission season because of the pandemic and the economy. And for Andrew, being only 24, we think he should apply in round 2 with the knowledge that if he doesn't get exactly what he wants, he can always reapply with no penalty. So going through if you have the stamina and the will to go through this a second time, go for it. You'll probably learn a lot just applying and even getting rejected in some cases, and maybe getting an autopsy on your rejections by Sandy or someone. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us at Fridays with Sandy for Sandy. This is John Byrne with Poets and Quants.